We are back with another news video, and it starts with the winners of the Tag Team Battle Royal last night on Dynamite were Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, as Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett join the Acclaimed and the Guns in what will be a Four Corners match at Revolution for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And that makes way for the Casino Battle Royal next week, where the winners of the Casino Battle Royal will be the final team added to the Four Corners, to the four-way tag team title match at Revolution. The only question I have now is, why so many Battle Royals? I mean, I understand that you want to get everybody possible involved, but why so many Battle Royals? I mean, and also, does this mean that we're going to be getting Jokers next week in the Casino Battle Royal? Because usually in the Casino Battle Royal, there's almost always a Joker. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. As next week, I do believe next week's show, next week's episode of Dynamite is the Go Home edition of Dynamite for Revolution on March the 5th. Actually, yes. Next week's episode of Dynamite is the Go Home episode of Go Home episode before Revolution on March the 5th. And also, we found out that at Revolution, the Elite will be defending the the Trios Championships against the House of Black, which is the biggest opportunity that the House of Black have had since becoming a tag team or a trio. As I don't even think that the House of Black, and again, you can quote me if I'm wrong or correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the House of Black have ever challenged for the tag team titles. So this would be the first time that the House of Black have challenged for a championship since they became a tag team. But I think this type of opportunity is what the House of Black have been waiting for, and why there was a bit of frustration among the group last year, and rumors that Malachi Black wanted to go back to WWE. Also, at Revolution, I for one hope that this could be the end of the rivalry between Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho, as Ricky Starks holds a rare victory over Y2J, and maybe they let the feud end with Ricky Starks getting the better of the leader of the Jericho Appreciation Society, as nobody will be at ringside and everyone is barred from ringside for the championship matchup. For the matchup at Revolution between Jericho and Ricky Starks. That means the entire JAS is barred from ringside, and Action Andretti is barred from ringside for the match, because it is a rare occurrence that somebody holds a victory over Chris Jericho and that the feud is continuing. As I said, I hope Ricky Starks wins at Revolution and that we get something completely different, because typically, especially if you look at the Eddie Kingston feud and MJF had a better feud with CM Punk, not just because the segments were amazing and incredible and stuff that people still talk about. It is because MJF actually beat CM Punk. To my knowledge, MJF never beat Chris Jericho. That was an issue with the feud, in my opinion. That was an issue with the feud. Ricky Starks already beat Chris Jericho, and in my opinion, Ricky Starks needs to beat Chris Jericho again to solidify himself as a potential World Championship contender. Also at Revolution, we will see a triple threat women's match for the Women's Championship, I do believe, including Saraya, Ruby Soho, and of course, the World Champion, Jamie Hayter. I don't know how I feel about this match, but I do like the match because I was one of the people that said Ruby Soho should be getting a title shot after the never-ending rivalry that took place last year with her, Tay Mello, and Anna Jay. That's just my opinion, but I thought that it would be better off. They'd be better off Ruby Soho against Jade Cargill. But I guess clearly they don't want to have Jade Cargill lose yet, so that's why they're putting Ruby in the triple threat with Saraya and Jamie Hayter. But we will break down the Revolution card in full at a later date. But more matches have been added, and I'm sure next week on Dynamite we'll get the final matches added as the go-home show of Dynamite before Revolution takes place next week, with Revolution set to take place once again on March the 5th. Speaking of Dynamite last night, there was an announcement on Dynamite last night that we will get to in a second. There are two other smaller bits of news that are, two other smaller bits of news that I want to get to first, and that includes jumping back to WWE and the fact that a talent has went to Fightful Select and basically said that they believe that Vince McMahon may be back in creative, providing limited proof that Fightful went on to try and prove by conversating with sources in the know, basically people that would know if Vince was back in creative or not. And people said that Vince was not back in creative, but this goes back to what Triple H said last month, that it is not that Vince is back in creative or not back in creative. It is that he allows everyone to have an opinion and express their opinion with what goes on in WWE. Like, basically, Triple H is not afraid to ask for help. So it is not that, or take other people's input. That's basically the word, what I'm trying to say. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And according to Triple H himself, Vince McMahon is one of the people that Triple H goes to for input. So it would not be surprising to find out that Vince McMahon does have some input when it comes to creative, but Triple H has the final say. I will probably echo the same sentiment that everybody else echoes, that as long as Triple H keeps complete control over creative and is just taking Vince's input, then the fact of the matter is that will be what's best for business. But I think some people are pointing out things that happened with Baron Corbin and the fact that Omos may have a match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania as reasons why Vince McMahon is back and has more than input in creative. But, I mean, if I know anything about Brock Lesnar, 90% of the time, Brock has the power to say no if he doesn't want to work with somebody. So I do think that it may be Brock also accepting the fact that he's going to work with Omos and wanting to work with Omos to test himself. But I think that's a story that we're going to have to keep an eye on and talk about at a later date, as Big Show is set to be medically cleared within the next month or so to return to the ring. And Big Show went on record saying that he spent 11 weeks in a wheelchair as doctors built I think it was as doctors built a cast for the surgery or something to that effect because of his size. I know that Big Show returning to the ring is not something that's going to light the world on fire, but I do hope that Big Show is 100%, as he, from what I've been hearing, did a lot of damage to his knee over the years because of his size and because of not taking time off. And I just hope that he's 100%, and because you never want to hear somebody is not 100%. Lance Archer will also be returning to the ring very soon, as Lance Archer is one of those people that I believe, because of his New Japan obligations, has never been able to show his truest potential in AEW, but Jake Roberts is supposedly returning back with him, So that'll be exciting to see because Lance Archer is one of those people that you forget about, but then remember why he's so good when you do see him in the ring. And speaking of returns, Adam Cole, baby, will be returning to the ring next month. After suffering a severe concussion last year, Adam Cole has not competed since Forbidden Door last year. So next month will be a treat to see Adam Cole back in the ring. And in my opinion, last night's announcement, hearing Adam Cole the fact that Adam Cole is coming back made the announcement a little less disappointing, but the fact that it was just the announcement of an all-access TV show that will take place after Dynamite, starting next month, AEW All Access will give you an hour-long show after Dynamite to show you the behind-the-scenes aspects of AEW, basically the Elite's the Elite's YouTube series, but more fixated on others outside of the Elite, like Eddie Kingston, Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti, Adam Cole and Britt Baker, the Young Bucks, I think that's it. I may have missed somebody, but I mean, I may think it's disappointing, and somebody else may think it's the best thing ever. But does AEW, number one, really need another TV show? And number two, I mean, yes, looking at it from a standpoint, would it have been a better announcement if he announced a signing? No. But would it have been a better announcement if he announced Forbidden Door 2? Maybe, yeah. Is it a little too soon to announce the second Forbidden Door event? Probably, yes. It may just be my perspective because I'm not a fan of reality TV, so that just might be my perspective that it's a little disappointing that was the announcement. Let me know though down in the comment section below your thoughts on the announcement that took place last night from Tony Khan. Were you underwhelmed? Were you disappointed? Let me know down in the comment section below, as that is it for the news today, and I will see you in the next video.